John Busdeker here with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I am the storyteller here at the Sheriff's Office, and we're super excited because today we're going to do a live tour of the Mounted Patrol stables here at the Sheriff's Office. We kind of wanted to do this because a lot of people, a lot of students, a lot of adults, you're at home. We know a lot of people are staying at home because of coronavirus, and so we wanted to show off some of the different parts of our agency, and we're kicking this off here at the mounted unit because the mounted unit is brand new, it's super cool, and we wanted to show everybody what we do out here. And so I'm joined this morning with Sergeant Larry Slimmick, who's in charge of our stables out here. How you doing, Larry?
Good, how are you?
Good. So why don't you tell me what exactly is the mounted unit, and tell us a little bit about the stables.
Okay, we moved into Alaska Farms. We are leasing the property for 10 years. We have been here since August, so we're still in the middle of construction on certain things. We're located in what we call the Sector 2 area of Orange County, which is, we're at 9650 Barry Deese Road.
Yeah, I should
Orlando.
mention, kind of off the 417. If you're driving north or south on the 417, south of the 408, kind of look over and you can see the stables from the road. And I should say, but I didn't say this at the beginning, Sergeant Slimmick and I are staying far apart. We're trying to stay 6 feet apart during this whole tour because we're taking this seriously. But all right, sorry to interrupt you there.
Okay. So we're located on Barry Deese Road. Right now we have 5 mounted patrol deputies, and including myself, and we have 2 civilian stable assistants that take care of the horses 7 days a week. And right now we have 11 horses, which you get to meet today. So
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
I've been out here a few times, but I'm excited to sort of see these horses up close and personal. But this is new. I said this is a brand new location for our stables. Sergeant, we used to be out by Walt Disney World.
Correct. We used to be out at the Grand Cypress, which was in Lake Buena Vista, and now we're in Sector 2, and our owners that own the place are great, and the facility is nice, and it's everything we need, and it's close to the highways, so we can get, if we have to respond to search and rescue or some type of crowd control or just directed patrol, we're close to every highway to get to.
Excellent. So I also wanted to say we have Corporal Antoine Daniels behind the camera right now, and so if you got a question for us, feel free to type it in. He'll shout it out to us, but we're going to go on this tour. We got a big facility here, and so we got a lot of places to show off. And if you're just joining us, we're taking a tour of the mounted unit stables. And like I said, if you got any questions, type them out and we'll try to answer them as we go. All right, Sergeant, so you can't just get into the stables. You got to put in a little code here, and so we're going to walk through, but join us here. And so wait, real quick, why does it say Alaska Farms?
The owners of the property, they adopted a child she's about a year old, and her name is Alaska.
Okay.
So that's why they named it Alaska Farms.
And as the Sheriff's Office, we're actually leasing this, correct?
Correct.
All right.
We're on a lease.
So tell me a little bit about this. We got stables over here. We got a covered ring. Tell me a little bit about here.
Okay. The property here to the left, you'll see a pull truck and some trailers that's how we get the horses around the county. We have 5 trailers, and they're 2-horse trailers. And then the big building you see on your left with the red roof that you can see from the 417 is the riding arena. It's a covered arena, and my corporal is out there now riding Justice and working him.
Hey, Sergeant, we're gonna go out there in a little bit, but we want to show you the stables too.
As you walk up, on the right here is our main stables. There's 12 stalls, and we'll give you a little tour of the stables right now.
So real quick, Sergeant, how did you end up here in the mounted unit?
I've been in here 20 years. I started off of patrol, and I started as a corporal in here and learned how to ride in the unit. So I did not know how to ride when I came here.
Wait a minute, hold on, stop right here. So you didn't even know how to ride a horse, and
Correct.
then you joined this? Why did they let you in?
Actually, as a mounted patrol officer, we would prefer normally that people do not have riding experience, because we can train them on different how we ride, procedures, different crowd control procedures, and sometimes, well, some people, it makes it a little easier than breaking bad habits on people that have ridden. So we, actually what's funny is Antoine that's running the camera was a cross trainer with us and did a great job trying to get him back out here. But he did not know how to ride, and we worked with him and got him riding.
All right, so you want to head this way or you want to head that way? All right, we're going to go over this way, only because we got a busy road right here, so I don't know if you can hear all of us. I'm trying to talk as loud as I can. So, Sergeant, you said how many different stables are there? How many different stalls?
Well, we have, in our stables that we lease, we have 12 stalls, and right now we have 11 horses. So we're still looking for another good horse.
If anybody has a horse out there that wants to donate it to us or maybe sell it to us, we're interested.
Yes. And then the other building you see are 10 stalls that it's basically empty, and we use it for other units coming in. If we're doing a big event, we'll bring Osceola horses or Key West or Tampa or Sarasota. They come in and they'll stay. And then we have a plan with Orlando Police Department. If there's emergency or whatever, they can bring their horses over. That way we can cut down on manpower taking care of horses.
So let's go over here a little bit. Like I said, let's get away from the road.
Okay.
So Sergeant, why do we even have a mounted unit? Why does a urban county like Orange County, and there are rural parts as well, but why do we even have a mounted unit?
Horses are used for, we basically can do a lot with a horse because we obviously, when we go in, I've had people ride with me, and when you go into a shopping center, we can't even get around the shopping center because we get stopped so much, which is good for us if we go into a neighborhood and we're walking and people are talking to us. We can find out, you know, what are the problems in the neighborhood. It may not even be law enforcement wise. It may be related to something in public works. But they come out and they talk to us. Their kids want to see the horse. So we get a lot of public relations. We also use them for crowd control because when we're on the horse, we're like 7 to 8 foot tall. So we can, you know, tell people to move, and they see us and give it, you know, when we give directions. Obviously we use them for search and rescue because we can go in places that vehicles can't go. We can go in the woods, we can go in paths. And then we do a lot of just directed patrol and a lot of public events. Unfortunately now with COVID-19, we can't do the normal group setting events that we usually do because every weekend we're busy going to different churches or neighborhoods or UCF programs or Disney programs or SeaWorld programs. So we do get out a lot with the public, and horses are, people like horses and they're interested in horses, and it's a lot of good, you know, conversation with people, and we get to talk about what we do.
So show me some of these stalls right here.
Okay, all the horses have their names above the stall. They're out in the paddock now, running around, and you know, some of them.
And we're gonna go out to the paddock as well. You're gonna see some actual horses during this.
We have a horse, Courageous Coat. He's on light duty because he injured his foot on a fence. He cut his foot.
So what does light duty mean?
He's basically, the vet recommends stall because she doesn't want him to pull the stitches out.
Okay.
He's fine. He could run right now. I mean, he actually healed very well. But she just wants to be cautious and keep him in till Monday.
So let's go see Courageous Coat.
Courageous Coat.
Hey, buddy. Hey. Don't bite me on camera. Nobody wants to see that.
Courageous Coat is a good horse.
So tell me about Courageous Coat. How did he end up here? He or she?
It's a he.
He. How did he end up here?
He was donated to the sheriff's office. He came from the Osceola area, and he's been with us for about 6 years, I think. And his original name when he came to us was Scooter.
Scooter? Why didn't you keep Scooter?
They wanted to rename. They just wanted to do a rename like we did Justice. And same thing. We did a campaign through the elementary schools, and they came up with Courageous Coat.
So let's talk about that a little bit. How do horses end up here in the mounted unit?
All of our horses are donated, so they all have kind of different stories. Which I can go through real quick. PC which is named after pocket change, was actually abandoned near the Orlando International Airport, and our agricultural crimes unit was called about him, and they picked him up, and then we ended up trying him out through our ag unit. And the way the county works, they had to do an auction, and we had to purchase, somebody had to purchase him for $1, and then that person donated him to us.
Oh, okay.
So he's the horse I'm currently riding. Alessandro, he's a tricaner, which is like a warm blood. The lady that owns him, she couldn't ride due to health reasons, she couldn't ride anymore, so she donated him. Originally Scooter, now Courageous Code, was owned by a family that the kids they weren't riding him anymore, and they wanted him to go somewhere to be used.
So, I mean, is there anything special about their stalls, or?
No, they're all, I mean, they all have water, automatic waterers, and right now, due to the weather, we added buckets to it just to make sure they're drinking a lot. But it's well ventilated. Every horse has a fan. Every horse has a camera that we can watch off property. So if I leave here, I can watch each horse to monitor their health. The whole facility is under surveillance with cameras, and the stalls are just nice and open, so they can get a lot of air and
I gave you all the treats already, buddy. All right, let's take a walk.
We'll walk this way.
Yeah, we're going to show you the tack room. We're going to show you some other horses over here. Any questions so far?
Sure. Sonia Brown wants to know, at what age do the horse retire?
Good question.
All right. I'll repeat it real quick. What age does a horse retire?
We don't really have an age. What we look, as a supervisor, what I look for is a change in personality of the horse, obviously a medical issue. If I've had a couple horses get a medical condition that they were still rideable, but we want to retire them before they're injured badly or anything. So we make sure, if I see a horse that's starting to have, a lot of medical little things, maybe arthritis, then we put in paperwork to retire them, and they go to a farm in Alachua County where they take all retired police horses, and they never leave that farm once they're there, and they're never ridden again.
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, it's Mill Creek Farms. It's in Alachua County, and and if you donate a horse, you have a right of refusal. So the first thing we do is, if the horse was donated, I contact the original owner and I say, hey, we're going to retire the horse because of whatever reason it may be, and then if they are in a position where they can't take the horse back, then I retire the horse to Mill Creek Farms. If they would like the horse back as a donator, they can take the horse back.
Okay.
So when we retire a horse, they're never in bad shape. I mean, we've never had an issue. I want to retire a horse while it still can enjoy its life. Some horses, my horse that I rode for a long time, I rode him for 17 years, and he was in good shape. He just started developing some health issues, and we thought it was time for him to retire.
Perfect. Can you show us inside one of these stalls
Sure.
real quick? Go inside, Antoine. Go check out one of these stalls. Watch your feet, though.
This is Blossom's stall, but they're all alike. Basically, they get clean sawdust every day. We clean the urine, and we clean all the manure every day. Over here, the little brown thing you see is called a salt lick. There's different kinds, but it gets them at this time of year to drink a little more because they lick it and then they want to drink. And then obviously we feed T&A hay, Timothy and alfalfa hay, and they got water buckets that they get plenty of water. And
who's this horse right here?
That is Prosecutor Pete.
Prosecutor Pete, I like it.
And deputies, DFC Andrew Stevens will be riding him in a little bit.
Yeah, so if you're just joining us, we're taking a tour of the mounted unit, the stables, right off the 417. We're kind of in East Orange County right now. If you got any questions, put them in there. We'll try to get those answered. And this is brand new. This has only been open a few months, and we wanted to show you kind of what's happening out here. We know a lot of students, a lot of parents, a lot of adults are at home right now. They're sort of social distancing at home, and so we're kind of showing off some different parts of our agency. Sergeant Slimmick and I, we're staying 6 feet apart during this live tour. But yeah, if you got any questions, type them in and we'll try to get them answered for you. We got Antoine behind the camera though, and he'll shout out some questions. Any questions?
So far, do we have a vet for the horses?
Yes, we do. I have actually 2 different vets that we use, and they're on call 24/7. And then if there's an emergency, we're contracted with hospitals in Ocala and in Gainesville.
Awesome. All right, let's head over to the area where they do the tack room and get the horses ready. Okay.
And Sarge Anne-Marie wants to know: are people able to visit the farm?
Oh,
of the retired ones?
A lot.
Well, actually, after COVID-19, we are open 7 days a week, mainly from like 8:30 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And yes, they can visit. We would prefer they call us, which is 407-836-9555.
Yeah, and we can put that in the comments.
Put that in the comments. And they call, and they're welcome to, you know, we don't like large groups, but, you know, if it's a family, they want to bring their kids, we're fine with that. Right now, they can't.
Yeah, you got to stay away. This is why we're doing this live tour, so you can see this. But yeah.
Once this is all cleared up, hopefully soon, they're welcome to visit. We also take volunteers. You have to go through the hiring process, basically, as a volunteer. And I have multiple volunteers that come and ride and take care of the horses, groom the horses. So we have a volunteer program, and we also have a volunteer mounted posse program.
Ooh, wait, can I get on that?
You gotta own a horse.
No, I don't own a horse.
You have to have a horse, truck, and trailer, and then you can be on the mounted posse.
Mounted posse, I like it. It sounds very cowboy. I love it.
This is our office. Just an office.
Just an office. We're not gonna go in there. What is the scale?
This is a scale.
All right.
Basically, you turn it on over here. I'm not going to get on the scale.
I'll get on the scale.
You'll get on. Wait, let it.
Oh.
I got to zero it.
Why do we have a scale? Why do we have a horse scale?
Well, actually, it's the way
All right.
it died.
All right, it died. Never mind. I weigh about 185 in case you were wondering. So
anyway, every month we weigh the. It's got a plug. We just got to plug it in.
Yeah.
They left it on.
We'll come back. We'll come back to it.
The plug is right on top. Oh, there it goes. Okay. There it goes.
All right. Is it zeroed out?
Now it will be.
How much do you weigh, John?
How much do I weigh? Hopefully not as much as a horse.
I hope not.
Oh. No? Nothing? Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Plus you got the speaker on there.
Okay, yeah. Well, speaker's adding a few pounds there. Plus these boots. Real quick, I want to show off my boots here. I don't typically wear cowboy boots to the office, but I figured since I was going to be at the mounted unit stables, I should wear my cowboy boots today. So
yeah,
I hope everybody noticed these. All right, Sergeant, let's head over here.
Oh, you're going to weigh anything? Yeah, you can.
Oh,
we
all
can
right.
weigh a horse.
Let's see what a horse actually weighs.
So we use the scale. Let me zero it out.
So this was Prosecutor Pete. We're going to see how Prosecutor Pete, how much he weighs. Any more questions, Antoine?
So far, how many horses do we have here?
11.
All right, we got 11 horses, but we're looking for another one.
Right, always looking for a good horse.
All right, tell me
Watch
about
out,
this.
Pete's a big guy. I'll let Andrew explain about Pete. He came off the racetrack.
So Pete came off the racetrack. He'll be 8 years old.
Okay.
And we usually come from the other direction.
I should mention, this is Deputy First Class Andrew Stevens. How long you been out here, Andrew?
Been on here for the mounted unit now 5 years.
5 years, all right. All right, we're gonna see how much this horse weighs. Oh, maybe he's a little shy.
Hey, come on. Get up there. Step. Walk it.
It's all right. We can. Look, if you're just, this is what happens when you got horses. They don't always follow all the directions that we want to give them. But if you're just joining us, we're taking a tour of the mounted unit stables. Here we go.
The radio was in the way.
Ah. All right, about 1,400 pounds.
1,400 pounds.
All right. Is that about the right weight for a horse?
So he's yeah, it is about right. He's very tall.
Ah.
So he is off the track. On a track horse, that would be a little heavy. But we're not running on a track anymore.
That's true. That's true. Nice. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you want to go check out the tack room? All right, we're going to go check out the tack room.
And then we'll come back out and you can watch Andrew tack.
All right, so wait, before we go in the tack room, explain for non-horse people, what is tack or what is a tack room?
Okay, this is our wash area and tack room. Wash areas, there's 4 of them, and basically what we call a cross-style horse in here, so it would be facing this way. We rinse them off daily. They're washed at least once a week, maybe twice, depending on how busy we are and what we're doing. And this is just regular hose. They have hot water, they have cold water. We can mix it, make it warm water, or if it's summertime, make it cold water. There's fans if it's hot. And basically you bring the horse in, there's drains, and you wash the horse or rinse the horse.
Why do you usually do it before and after, right? At least
if we're going to an event and they have to be clean, we wash them ahead of time, even maybe the day before, if it's an early event. And then if we ride, like the 2 that are going to ride for you in a little bit, we'll ride and then they'll rinse them off.
All right.
Kind of like when you sweat, you want to get the sweat off.
All right, that's a good plan. All right, let's go into
then we're going to go in the tack room.
the tack room here.
And
so explain what does tack mean for people?
tack it can be anything you put on a horse. So it's basically your saddle pad. We ride English and we ride Western.
What's the difference?
The difference is the saddles are just a little different. This is a Western saddle. Most of your Western saddles have a horn, which is what sticks up for roping or doing any type of rodeo. And we do mostly Western for doing patrol or doing long events because it's a little bit better on the horse. It's distributes the weight of all the gear we wear and the rider, and the horse they don't usually have back issues with this. For our English riders, we would use this for parades. It's just a little bit different saddle. It's a little smaller, so you see it's not out as big, so the weight's a little bit more centered on the middle of the horse. And we would use this for formal parades, ceremonial stuff, funerals. We do use it sometimes for crowd control. It depends what we're doing, but just a little different. And the gear's a little different. Like so, on an English saddle, what holds the saddle on is called a girth, and then on a Western saddle, which is this, is called a cinch. And they're basically, they look similar, they just have different names.
Oh, okay.
So,
but in terms of law enforcement, there's really nothing special about the saddle.
No, we add, compared to some English riders, we add what we call D-hooks, D-rings to, like you'll see all around the saddle. It's just a whole different gear to clip on. So a regular rider may not have the D-rings, but other than that, that's about it.
But the saddle pads have our logo and things on it,
We
right?
use what we call a saddle pad and then a saddle cover. So this is a saddle cover. And then on the English saddles it's a different pad, but it's a little different. This is an English pad. So we don't have to have a saddle pad and a cover. We just have this pad.
I'll show you this here real quick. This is what we have on our pads here. It's our patch basically, right? But a little bit different.
A little different.
Yeah.
A little bigger.
And Sarge, how many hours do the horses work, and how many hours do the horses get rest?
We kind of do it like we do. So we work a 10-hour day normally.
You work way more here than they do in my office. That's
right.
for
We
sure.
work 10 hours, but part of that 10 hours is getting the horse ready, transporting the horse. So actual riding, we're riding from anywhere from 5 to 7 hours, but the horse isn't being ridden that long. We kind of do it like people need breaks, people need water. We do the same thing for the horse. So if I'm going to take a break, I get off the horse's back and I have water and you know, they get a lunch break like we do, and we make sure the horse is hydrated, and we make sure the horses, you know, there's no issues with those. That's why when we're tacking them, when we go out, and I'll let Andrew show, when he's already groomed the horse, so he checks the horse for any injuries when he's doing the grooming. So he's picking the hooves, he's checking the hooves, checking the legs, making sure they didn't get hurt in the stall or in the paddock with another horse, and then once he's tacking up, then he'll notice if the horse is sore in the back or something. We won't use the horse. That's why we have 11. We use a different horse.
How often are you out doing patrol or out doing stuff with the horse?
Well, on our busy time, every basically 5-6 days a week.
Okay, so most of the
Because I
time.
split our shifts. We're not all working the same days. We're split. I have 3 working a schedule and then 2 people working another schedule. So, and then we work a lot of Saturdays and Sundays.
All right. So what do we got here? What is all this here?
This is all their bridle and reins and breast collars, and I mean, I could go on for hours on bits and different things we use, but basically every horse has a number, so we would spend so much time adjusting gear if we had one set of bridle, and we'd have to move it all around because our horses all vary in size. Like Pete's a very large horse that you just saw being weighed.
Big horse.
1,400 pounds, and then I have a couple horses that are 1,100 pounds. So each horse has his own gear, and it's basically hung by, there's numbers over it. So it kind of, then for cross trainers, and we got their name and what number they are, so we know. And all the English saddles are fit for that horse. So English saddles you can't really move around. Western saddles, you can put a Western saddle on any horse as long, you know, within reason. You can't put it on a pony, but you know, if it's a nice sized horse, then it can be moved.
We don't have any ponies, do we?
No.
How about like a miniature horse?
Well,
would you ever think about getting a miniature
horse? At the
horse?
end here, the owners have a donkey and
Oh.
goats and over there.
All right, we're gonna go
You
see
can
that.
too.
Let's go out here.
So this was our tack room. We
Yeah.
also wash the horse blankets, and we keep medicine that needs to be refrigerated in here, and sink and all that.
All right, come on out this way. If you're just joining us, we're taking a tour of the mounted unit stables. Me and Sergeant Slimmick, we're staying 6 feet apart. We're social distancing. And we know a lot of people are at home, so we wanted to show you off some different parts of our agency. And like I said, today we're out here at the horse stables. If you got any questions, type them in there, and Antoine's going to shout them out.
So, Sarge, how long do you have to be a patrol deputy before you become a mounted deputy?
Well, we have the department, you have to go through your FTO period, your training.
Explain what FTO is.
FTO is field training program, so you don't just take a deputy out of the academy or even a deputy from another agency that comes here. They have to be trained, so they have to go through that training, and then normally they don't let them come over till about 2 years into patrol.
All right.
So after 2 years, then they can job shadow, and basically right now we have about 6 or 7 people that job shadow, and they actually go through the training program for us, so they have to ride 150 hours. At the end of the 150 hours, they have to take a riding test, and actually last week I had 2 people that just passed the riding test, and so now what we call them is certified police mounted unit. So they can come and they can, if they're working at their regular job and their boss says, hey, you can go patrol with mounted, they can come in, get a truck, trailer, and a horse and go patrol.
Nice.
So,
there you go. So what do we got here with Prosecutor Pete?
Prosecutor Pete. Andrew's getting everything on. Right now we get them all ready in the stall. It's a little safer right now. We just moved in here in August, so we're letting the horses get used to the road traffic and all that. So we have a special ring in there, D-ring, that holds them. If they pull back, they won't get injured. And right now, Andrew put the bridle on. Our bridle, each horse has you can see it, has a star. They have their star. And then when we ride parades, each horse he's not wearing it right now, but they have a breast collar, and we put a mount, they get their own badge, like a deputy does, and they ride with their badge. So right now, Andrew's bidding him up, and he's basically wearing what we call a pelham bit. And there's thousands of different bits, so I could get into it, but it would be a long conversation. There's different bits for riding different ways. If he was we use this particular bit on a lot of our horses, because if we're out on patrol and we need to stop a horse because of traffic or because of some, emergency, the bit will make the horse stop a little easier than like a lot of people ride in the ring with just what they call a basic snaffle, which is good for when you're competing, but if you're wanting to stop the horse, it doesn't do as well.
So Sergeant, when it comes to mounted units here in Central Florida, how does ours compare? Do we have more horses than somewhere like OPD, Orlando Police, or less? Or is ours bigger because we're a bigger county?
Orlando Police Department has 7 horses right now, but they're retiring one of them. I just talked to that sergeant on Monday, and they only have 3 people in their unit right now. So we're a little bit bigger. We have 11. Our unit's a full-time mounted unit. We travel, we help other units out. Most of your units are either a part-time unit and they do other jobs. This is strictly our job.
All right.
To take care of the horses.
You want to bring them out? All right, I'm going to get out of the way because this is a 1,400-pound horse.
So we have a viewer that wants to know how high is Pete?
How tall is Pete?
We measure horses by hands. So a hand is 4 inches. And a hand, we have an actual stick that measures them. It'll show how but he's a little bit right at 17 hands. So he's a large horse. As you can see, he's very big. He's wearing a Western saddle right now. And I have 3, there's basically 4, watch your step there.
Oh, thank you.
4 horses that are about 17 hands. We'll go out and show them that. We're gonna let Andrew go and warm up with him and Justice are out there. I'm going to pass this on to Master Deputy Lindsay Whitesell.
Come on, Lindsay.
She's going to take you to what you really want to see, which is all the horses.
That's right. And so,
staying 6 feet away.
Staying 6 feet away. The horses, you can get close to the horses, though.
I get close to the horses, but we are staying 6 feet away from each other for safety.
Yeah. So I should say, once again, this is Master Deputy Lindsay Whitesell. Thank you for joining us on this live tour. Oh, here we go.
Yes.
Here we go. Let's get some, there we go, some sanitizer. So before we get out to the horses, which I know everybody wants to see,
Right.
How did you end up here in the mounted unit, Lindsay?
I grew up riding horses. I grew up in South Florida, and I came to the University of Central Florida. I got my bachelor's degree. I did an experience with the sheriff's office, to which then I found out that I could become a deputy. I became a deputy, and in the academy I had an instructor that was in the mounted unit.
Okay.
And I didn't even know that we had one, so I was very excited that the possibility of maybe one day I could be in the mounted unit full time. I ended up going as a patrol deputy for about 5 years, and after that I was able to interview for a position here when it became open, and I've been here ever since. I've been here over 8 years now.
Did you have a horse that whole time while you were a
No,
deputy, or?
I didn't.
You're still a deputy.
I'm
but,
still a deputy.
Yeah.
Growing up, I had horses. I rode other people's horses. I worked at a ranch, and then I went away to college. I rode with a really good friend of mine, her horses, and just kind of kept riding different ways throughout my whole life. And then I came to the mounted unit, and at that point, I would ride with them.
Excellent. And if you want to see an excellent video about Lindsay, there's one that was posted, I think yesterday, by my coworker, Bailey Myers. She did a fantastic job, and it's all about you.
Yes, it was very fun. It was fun to me.
All right, so let's head out this way. Any questions, Antoine?
So far, no questions?
All right.
Great.
But if you got any questions, type them in, and we will answer them. And we're out here at the mounted unit giving everybody a tour. You guys just moved here in August?
In August.
Okay, all right. You were over by Disney for years and years and years.
Yeah, about 10.
All right,
10
so
years.
where are we headed right now?
We'll just start from right ahead of us.
All right, come on this
Right
way.
ahead of us. We'll go, I'm not biased, but we'll start with the best one.
Oh, all right. So wait, where are we headed? What is this?
This is the area that the horses that we're not using on patrol for the day go out. It's kind of like their playtime. This is their pastures that they hang out in. Most of them have a pasture mate, so we go 2 horses to 1 pasture. Based on their personalities and what horses get along better than others, or who the stable assistants have picked to go out in the pasture. So ahead of us, right here,
Come on out.
2 horses that get along really well, James and Alessandro. James is the very, very, very dark bay, almost black horse, and Alessandro is the bay.
So what's so special about one of these horses?
James used to be my horse. I donated him here a couple years ago.
Oh, he was your personal horse.
He was. But he has a very, very good life here at the sheriff's office, working for the sheriff's office like I do. So he is able to be used for training people. We use him for a lot of special events, parades. He's the riderless horse for our events for Law Enforcement Memorial. He's a great patrol horse. We've used him for a lot of different things, and other deputies have learned to ride on him. And
Looks like you found another friend.
He does have a very good friend with the sergeant's limit.
He likes me better.
What we don't know is that Sarge has treats in his pockets.
Oh, all right.
But James loves his mama, and that's James.
So how do you train the horses? How do you train out here?
It just depends on the horse. Every horse we've gotten has come from a different law enforcement, like I said, for law enforcement. Alessandro is behind me too. He wants some loving. For law enforcement, we have to train the horses differently than we would be training horses in a different environment. A lot of these horses have come from showing. James did 10 years of show jumping. Alessandro did dressage and jumping. So for that, it comes with a different line of training. So we get them in for a 90-day trial period from wherever they've come from. And based on how well they do in the first 90 days, as if we decide to work with them longer, we just go back to basics with them. We start from the beginning. We just want to make sure that all of the horses are good around people, that they don't bite, they don't kick, they're nice to other horses. We a lot of times work with other agencies that have horses, so that we need to make sure that these horses are brave and they have what it takes to be a patrol horse with the county. We always use them for patrol, so we can go out at any time in the neighborhoods or in the shopping plazas. We do search and rescue training, we do parades and big events, so the horse has to be able to comprehend what we need from them and to be brave enough to handle it. A lot of horses that come from private barns or, just a different environment than police horses, a lot of times really aren't equipped to handle sirens, yelling, small children, smoke, all kinds of things that, happens.
I don't like handling those things either, actually.
Right, some people don't even like to handle those things. So we can't expect a horse to not be able to handle, we need to see that. We need to have them prove to us, and then we need to have them trust us as riders to bring them through anything. That's why a lot of these horses that you're going to see behind you, we have 2 supervisors and 3 full-time deputies, and as Sarge probably talked about earlier, we have a lot of other deputies in the agency that are trained to ride the horses. Personalities between the people and the horses are very, very, very essential to a mounted team that works together to get the job done.
Antoine, can you get a close-up of this?
Sure can.
Alessandro is very personable. Very personable. He is
buddy.
very, very, very nice horse.
I don't have any treats for you. I gave him all the other one.
He's a very nice horse. Him and James get along really well together, like horse personality-wise.
Do horses ever not make it? Like, do you ever bring them out here and they're just like, we can't use this as a police horse?
Yeah, but everybody that owns a horse, they form their own relationship with their own personal horse. So there's a lot of times that, you might be able to get your horse to do something because he trusts you. It might take us 6 months to get the horse to trust us the way that your owner of the horse did. So that's why we have to take so much time with the horses. We have a couple horses that are still out on trial. Annie at the end, one of the horses in the pasture at the end, we've had her for a few months. Deputy Stevens has done some work with her. She's a very, very nice mare. She's only one of 2 female horses that we have out here, but she's a very nice horse. But right now we can't really say yet, what her strengths are, what her weaknesses are, because we haven't gotten to do much. We have a lot of other things in the agency going on currently. So when all of this blows over, I guess we'll say.
And it will.
When it does, Annie will be worked with way more extensively for us to be able to form an opinion. As of right now, she's a very, very nice horse. She likes people. She likes to be around people, and that's great.
Which horse do you ride?
I ride James.
Oh, you ride James.
I love all the horses here. I've been here for over 8 years, so I have had an opportunity to ride all of them. So I love to ride the different horses and stuff, but primarily I love James.
All right.
So,
you're a little biased there. That's okay.
I'm biased, and I'm not afraid to say it.
All right, let's head this way.
Okay,
Come
let's
on,
head
walk
on
with us. Any questions?
So Lindsay, is that a standard uniform for mounted?
This is our Class B uniform that we wear every day. Unless we're doing a Class A or a special event, this is what we wear every day.
So what's a Class A look like compared to a Class B?
Long sleeves, but this is our uniform.
All right, and those boots?
These boots,
All right.
Ariat boots.
Nice.
We all have a different kind of model of Ariat boots, kind of just whatever is more comfortable for us. Traditionally, these tall boots are show boots. A lot of times, Ariat though has come out, I'm not plugging Ariat, but Ariat's come out with these boots that kind of have like a sneaker sole, so that they're way more comfortable for us to ride in and walk around in.
All right.
Usually show boots, you put them on, you show, you take them out.
You ever wear a cowboy hat?
We don't wear cowboy hats. We have campaign covers like the other deputies do.
All right.
When we're in our Class A. We don't wear cowboy hats.
Sometimes you see
Yeah.
law enforcement with cowboy hats on. So.
I know, and maybe we'll get there.
All right, let's head this way.
So Ann wants to know, do the horses play together and have time together outside?
They do. Like we said before, behind us is all of the turnouts and the pastures. We're not using certain horses for the day. They'll go out together. They do have the time with themselves, like the two horses will play together sometimes. Some will play over the fence, but a lot of times, depending on the weather, is how long they stay out. The stable assistants get here early in the morning and give them a lot of time out so that they get to drink water, eat hay, graze on grass, and just kind of be together out in pasture. The way that our barn is set up and built, as Sergeant Slimek told you guys before, they're able to see each other throughout the whole barn. So it's actually made a huge difference in their personalities and how comfortable they are with each other. So it has made them more playful and more social with the other horses. They don't really have this anxiety of, where are my friends? Because a lot of times the stalls go all the way up and they can't see. But the way that our stalls are is open, and it's actually made a huge difference.
Do you ever yell at the horse and say, no horse play?
Oh, you know, that's good. That's a good one.
All right.
They wouldn't understand.
So Sergeant Slimek, we're going to look at the food here. This is what you feed the horses?
Yes, we're gonna make this real quick because y'all want to see more
We
of
wanna
what's
get
going
to the
on
good
out there.
stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, each horse has its own diet that's regulated by the vet, and so we do it by the weight of the horse. And probably don't understand a lot of that there, but different horses get different. Like some of them get Cosequin if they have any problems. Like Pete came off the racetrack, so we know that he's going to have probably some arthritis that will develop, so we try to prevent that by giving him Cosequin. And same thing, you give dogs, basically helps their joints. And then there are different feeds.
Sergeant, how much hay do you go through a day or a week or a month?
It's about, I would say, 2 bales for just putting in their stalls, and then outside is probably another 3. Probably 5 to 6 bales a day.
All right.
But it all depends on time of year, and that could, in the summertime, they slow down, they drink more water than hay. So it all depends on the size of the horse, and we have some that really like hay, and then we have some that don't. So there's really no set. We just make sure that our particular unit, we make sure the horses are eating all the time. So if we're transporting, they get hay. If they're sitting in the stall, they get hay, because the more a horse digestive system runs, the less issues you have with what they call colic, which is horses are different than people. They get a stomach ache, and then it means I got to call the vet. So we want to make sure they're in the hay is delivered. Like you can see, we're running a little low. The vendor will deliver the hay here, and this will be all filled again. And we don't buy a lot of hay because we don't want it to mold or go bad and then get the horses sick. So we buy it in batches, and same with the feed. Feed lasts so long. We feed Purina and Nutrina, and basically, and then all those bags are sawdust.
Is it expensive to feed all the horses every month?
I don't consider it expensive, but I guess if you
Horses
had
got to
pay-
eat, right?
If you had to pay the bill, I guess it would be.
It probably would be.
Um,
All right.
So we're going to walk over to the training arena, and in the arena we have Corporal Frank Scanlon, and I have Deputy First Class Andrew Stevens. Andrew is on Pete, Prosecutor Pete, and Frank is on Justice, and they're just doing normal training that we do. And then we have Master Deputy Alicia Pellegrino on the ground that's helping with their training.
So let's head this way.
This thing you're walking by right here is called a round pen. We use it for working horses, exercising horses. We also use it for new riders. If we're teaching a person that's never ridden how to ride, we'll put them in the round pen. That way we have control of the horse, and we may use a lunge line. It depends on the rider. And a lunge line is a line that's about 20 feet long, and we can control the horse. And the round pin keeps it safe so the horse doesn't run off, and kind of limits space. Because if I'm trying to ride a new rider in the big arena and the rider can't control the horse, it's a long way for me to try to catch that horse. In here, there's more control.
So if you're just joining us, you know, we're out here at the stables. We're kind of wrapping up, but we're going to show you the ring, or the covered ring here. This is Sergeant Larry Slimmick. He's in charge out here at the stables. They just moved here in August, and so this is all kind of brand new. If you got any questions, type them in because we're going to try to answer them, but I want to show you at the very end here what the ring looks like and how they train and what they're doing out here. Any questions, Antoine?
So, Sarge, do the deputies practice shooting on the horses?
We do not use live ammo, but we do use blanks. Airplane going over, but we use blanks, and we go out to the Orange County range, which is right down the road, and we will get the horses used to the gunfire, and we will ride safely behind the people shooting, the deputies shooting, and that way the horses get used to it. But we don't want to jeopardize the horse's safety with using live ammo.
That's a good question. I never thought of that.
Permission to enter?
All right, it's
We're
like a
allowed
boat.
in.
You got to ask if you got to come in.
You always ask when you're going into an arena when people are working horses. Safety.
So tell me about the arena here. I mean, what do we got here?
This is a 100 by 300 foot arena, and it has lighting, and we use it. It's got a clay sand mixture on the ground, and basically it's to keep the horse's footing. You know, we want to make sure I'm gonna cook this so I don't forget.
You got to lock it up.
Not lock it, but
Well, at least
you know
shut it.
what? Yeah, shut it. So, and normally if we're on the ground working with the horses, we're just watching right now. I won't wear a helmet, but if I was in there working, even on the ground, I wear a helmet. And obviously nowadays, stay 6 feet away.
So Sergeant, explain what's going on here. What are people seeing?
Right now, they're just working some equitation, basically controlling the horse. I'm gonna scoot under you here. Working on backing, what we call side passing, which a horse moves to the side. And out of this two group, Pete is what we would consider the veteran horse, and Justice is relatively new. So Justice is learning a lot of different crowd control procedures. Like you see this thing we call a Flintstone mobile.
Yeah, what's this thing?
It
This
simulates crowd control.
Ah.
Basically, the object is for the horse to bring its front end up in the front legs, and it's not heavy, it's very light. You push it, and it simulates pushing a crowd, so they're not afraid of it. And certain horses are good at it, some horses are not. And but what's good is when you take a good horse that likes doing it, and then you put them together, and it makes the weaker horse do it.
So I know we're not going to get this out, but you also do training with smoke and obstacles. Talk
Right.
about that a little bit.
Right. Obviously, in our line of work, a lot of times.
Whoop, gotta get out of the way there.
You want this 6 feet.
All right.
The wave is 6 feet.
And a lot of the horses enjoy. I mean, they like to play, and some of the horses enjoy it. Now, what we're doing is, Justice may not particularly like to push it, but Frank is working with Justice so he knows it won't hurt him, and then before you know it, Justice will be pushing it. See, he's checking it out, and we always work on positives. We wouldn't force him to do anything, so we want him to actually like doing the training. So we would never make him do it. We just want him. A lot of horses like different things, and some of these horses, if you put them in there by themselves, you'll look out and they're pushing the thing all by themselves. They think it's fun.
And we should say, you mentioned that Justice is kind of one of our newer horses. We actually had a contest or last year where we asked our audience and our followers on social media to name the horse, and Justice was the name that y'all picked. So we were happy about that.
Correct.
So I think we're going to wrap up here. Is there any more questions?
How many acres is in this facility?
10 acres. And I don't don't know if you want to walk real quick. The owner has emus.
Oh yeah, we're gonna look at that
goats.
really quick.
Real quick. There's emus right there.
But yeah, it's 10 acres out here. It's just off the 417, south of the 408, kind of in East Orange County. And like I said, if you're just joining us now, you've missed a lot, but you can go back when we're done with this and you can see the whole tour of the mounted unit stables. But let's go check out the emus real quick because you gotta see some emus. Thank you guys, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Justice. What was this one again? Pete. Thank you, Pete and Justice.
Pete.
Come on, Sergeant, we'll go check this out.
Y'all can come if you want.
Our plan is to do some more of these tours throughout the next week or so. We want to show off different parts of our agency while a lot of students are at home because of coronavirus. I know a lot of Orange County public school students, they don't have to go back till April 15th. So we want to give you a little bit of a glimpse of what we do here at the Sheriff's Office. I'm sure there's some adults out there too that want to see what we do.
Close back or y'all coming out?
They can stay there, they can stay there. So come on this way. So as we said at the beginning, we operate the stables out here, but it's actually the farm is owned by a private person, and they have some animals out here as well.
Right.
And so we're gonna go check those out real quick before we tune out. Any more questions, Antoine?
Sure. Sarge, what are the requirements to become a mounted deputy?
All right, yeah, we covered this earlier, but maybe just real quick.
Real quick.
What do you got to do to
Well,
be
obviously you have to go to the academy, you have to be hired, you have to do your, what we call training on the road patrol. Once you're done that, and you're cleared to come to mounted as a cross trainer or job shadower, then you have to do 150 hours on the horse, and at the end you do a riding test. And 150 hours, it's a long time. I mean, it takes a little while to get that done. If you know how to ride, like 3 of my people knew how to ride, so they still have to do the 150 hours and take the test, but their riding is a little quicker because they can just go ride patrol and get that 10 hours at a time, where when we're teaching people, it takes a little longer to learn how to ride.
Yeah, and if you're not interested in becoming a law enforcement officer, you can volunteer out here.
Correct.
And help out with the stables and the horses.
So there's some construction right here that they're building, so we're gonna walk around this.
But I gotta thank everybody who's watched this tour. We're excited to do this because we've been wanting to do this for a few months now, and this just sort of gave us an opportunity. But like I said, we're gonna try to show off some different parts of our agency here pretty soon. Oh, I see an emu.
Yeah,
I see an emu.
these are the baby goats.
Oh, we gotta come check out the baby goats.
Real quick.
These are not Orange County Sheriff's baby goats.
These belong to the owner. These are our horses to the right.
Okay.
These are our horses to the right, because those are all our paddocks to the right.
Can you get down here, Antoine?
There's chickens.
Hey, buddy. Oh.
And they will nip.
Okay.
They're little ones, though.
Oh my gosh. I think we should have an official Orange County Sheriff's Office goat. What
I
do you
agree.
think? All right.
We have one.
All right. We got some goats. We got
Goats.
rooster in
Real
there.
quick, we got some over here.
We got some emus.
Emus, watch your step.
Watch your step, Antoine.
Yes, sir.
These will bite.
Okay. Stay away from the emus.
They don't bite hard.
All right.
There's a mama and 3 babies, so
Oh, there's one way out there.
yeah, I think those are all the babies. Mama, I think, is way over there. But
All right.
and then he's got some donkeys and ponies over here, and regular horses.
Nice. All right. Well, let's wrap this up, Sergeant. But
Okay.
like I said, I want to thank everybody who joined us. If you have any more questions about the mounted unit, put them in the comments. We'll try to answer them as best we can. If you want to volunteer out here, we'll put the phone number in the comments as well. Always looking for volunteers. Watch out there, Sergeant.
Yeah, he's gonna get me.
That emu looks like it's going to bite you. But thank you so much for having us out here.
welcome.
Thanks for staying 6 feet apart away from me. And like I said, tune in this week. Tomorrow, we're going to do some more live tours of parts of the Sheriff's Office. And we'll see you next time.